Hello Daily Drafters, and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft, or rather, our second go at day one of the Arena Open. You can see I'm already diving right into this. This is a pre-recorded draft, or a pre-recorded sealed run that I did this past Saturday on day one of the Arena Open, my second attempt. And you're going to see me voice over this attempt here today as we attempt to make it into day two of the Arena Open for the second try this time around. For those of you that missed Monday's draft, it was a heartbreaker, that's for sure. I won't reveal the results to you in case you want to go back to watch it. I guess I kind of revealed the results to you already, but we are diving right into today's sealed pool to see if we can make day two. And as you saw with the rares that we had on page one, we really didn't luck out this time around. We've got 3 Tree City, which is a completely unplayable rare. We've got a couple of gold rares. We've got effectively no white cards. We've got a Carrot Cake, a Mouse Trapper, a couple Warren Elders, I guess. Not that great. There's a good bit of red here. And there's a decent green thing. I see Season of Gathering immediately. And that's what I immediately throw into the pool because I know that's a card I'm really going to want to try to fit in there. And I look at my black-green options, starting with Camellia, looking at 3 Tree City here, seeing how unplayable it is. I do have a Pond Prophet and a Clement, but if I remember correctly, my blue is just horrible. So I'm looking through the green here, and I look through black, and I see a bunch of cards that work for black-green. Like, yeah, there you go. We have like 6 blue cards. 6 blue cards. We do have a Mockingbird, but 3 Pearl of Wisdoms. We're not playing blue-red. I'm just not doing it. The deck is not good enough, so I'm not even going to attempt to build that. Into the Floodmaw, fine. Hermit and Finch formation, not great. So blue is almost unplayable. Got a couple of blue-black rat uncommons in a rare, but it's very hard to build around the creature types I found in sealed because you just don't get a high enough creature count of them. So I immediately build a green-black deck here because it seems like it is by far and away the deepest roster of cards that I have. And if you, in this sealed format, if you can get yourself into green, that's a place you want to be, especially because we have the green season, which is like an insane card. Now, I'm looking at some of the more powerful cards, anything I might want to try to squeeze in here. I've got a ton of red cards. The issue is none of them are that good. In fact, they're all quite bad. We've got a Fireglass Mentor. But this sealed pool, I mean, kind of builds itself here. I mean, we've got not a lot of gold cards. We've got 2 blue-black ones and a black-red. And then the green-black that we already have in here. And that's it. I mean, we've got the Moonrise Cleric and the Guard Mouse and the Pond Prophet, but I don't really necessarily even count those unless we're in those archetypes so much. So, I mean, it seems like a pretty darn easy black-green build for me here. And now I'm just making some cuts. So we're at 46, and I have to decide where the least amount of synergy exists among these cards here. And just as we had yesterday, I do have 3 Polywallops in this deck, or in the sealed pool, and that is all of my removal, considering I also have 0 frogs to put into this deck. So it is a 4-mana bite spell, which is not very efficient. And that we have no black removal, we have no red removal, we have no white removal, no blue, and 3 Polywallops. That's all we got. For those of you that saw Monday's video with my first attempt, that was another issue that we had with that pool, is the lack of removal. But this is where I end up, and is a very, very easy build for me. I cut through a lot of those decision points as well, so I cut the video a little bit. It didn't take me literally 3 or 4 minutes to build it, but just for the sake of getting through this and getting into the gameplay here today, I did go ahead and just cut that out for you. But this is the deck I ended up on. 17 land, Season of Gathering, 1 removal spell, and hoping it's gonna get us there because that's about the best our pool could have offered us. Everything else was horrible. The rares weren't great, and sometimes you just get bad pools like this. So you gotta take with what you're given, and we'll keep this with Bone Cash Overseer and basically nothing else going on. So we'll give this one a shot here. Play our 1 mana 1/1, and off we go. Again, like I mentioned before, I'm commenting over the top of this, dubbing my audio at the end, because when I do play these more competitive events, I like to not talk over them while I'm playing, because I do play a little bit worse when I play that way. Like most of the videos you see on this channel, I guess. I offer the trade here with the Overseer because Pawn Profit, if it's included in their deck, is usually super important to their deck. So I just go ahead and get it off the battlefield. Feels bad to get 2 for 1, but Pawn Profit's a good card. Scavenger's Talent. In Sealed, this card could actually be quite good. Could mill you out pretty quickly. But if they choose to mill me, I actually want cards in my graveyard. So maybe it'll work in my advantage here. But another reason I'll do this post-recording is because I can see how I played looking back and if I would have done anything differently, which is always a fun thing to do as well. So Phineas has the ability to get pretty darn out of hand pretty quickly, and we're already seeing the inefficiency of Polywallop here. I mean, I have to spend my entire turn killing their 2/2, and I can't do anything else, and it just feels pretty bad. Meanwhile, they, in their pool, had a 2-mana removal spell to kill my creature. So, and here they are going wide, nice and quickly. We'll keep on drawing all the lands, and see if Treetop Sentries can top deck us into something nice here. Get rid of the 3 cards, forage, get a counter, and we did get something nice. Can't quite cast it yet, but it's okay. So my question is, do I want to trade Cultivator for Head of the Homestead and a 1/1? With this Scavenger's Talent on the battlefield, I feel a little bit of pressure. And it looks like they're going for the full mill plan here by just chumping, creating more food, and then when they level that thing up, they're going to be milling us for like 6 or 8 a turn, which is going to be a little bit difficult. So we got to try to get them dead quickly, but the issue is that all of their dead creatures make them food. So it makes life very difficult to try to race that. And here they go. All in on Scavenger's Talent. So at the beginning of their end step, they can sack 3 non-land permanents and then mill us for 6. And then we got like 3 turns to win, maybe, if we're lucky. And they get a Pawn Profit back. So it draws them an extra card. It's nice sack fodder for them next turn. And I do believe they get another food out of this. Yeah. So it's like infinite mills here. Okay, pretty easy Camellia. It gives all of my other creatures menace now. All the other squirrels, but all my other creatures are squirrels. So it's actually pretty nice. I think I do actually... No, I didn't forage there because I could leave the Camellia activation up if they make some funky blocks here. Which you will see they do in fact make. Got beat by the onboard trick. So we'll go ahead and pump that one up. Hit them for 6. They go to 9. They have no creatures. But again, they can mill us for a good bit. We're at 20 cards in deck, I mean, and 20 life, I suppose. But currently dead on board. And the Gossip's Talent isn't going to change that. see if they sack the monolith. Looks like they will. Draw a couple of cards, mill 2 over here. And then the end of their turn, they can make me mill 6 more. So they made me mill 14 cards here in 2 turns, which is like pretty big. But it's not going to be big enough. Because they can only block one of my creatures here, because Menace means that they can assign 2 creatures to block one of mine. And there we go. A nice, quick, and relatively easy game 1. And got the 1-0. So we will go on to game 2. Leading 1-0, and we have got to get all the way to 7 wins before 3 losses for a chance to enter day 2 of the Arena Open, where we would be able to draft our specialty. But we'll start here, and I'm debating if I want to play the Vine Lasher on 1 or not. And I think because I do have a 1-2-3 curve with Vine Lasher, Orator, and Psychic Whirl, or Cash on 2 and Psychic Whirl, I chose to play it on 1. And I'll get more creatures down here and keep on attacking. And at this point, the question is, do I want to trade Vine Lasher for Nettle Guard? The answer, as proven by not attacking with it, is no. So I leave it back, and then I just do the most mana-efficient play and Psychic Whirl their hand, get 2 cards out of it, and to move on with my life. Alright, got a Heaped Harvest and some sort of mythic rare that is probably built for Commander that I didn't feel like reading. Glarb. There we go. Death Touch. We'll worry if they get it back here. And a Hunter's Talent. Well, how nice it would have been to open that in one of our pools, but that didn't happen. So we will cast the Cash Grab, see what we hit. Notice that they do have priority now with 1 Plains, which makes me think that they have Crumb and Get It. So I have to keep that in mind as I continue to play this game here. So they've got +2/+2 and can also give a creature indestructible. Always nice to be able to put your opponents on tricks like that. Alright, we take 3. And a Heaped Harvest. This isn't a race we currently win, but if we draw a Forest, we can cast a 4/5, and if we don't, we can cast Daggerfang Duo. So at least we can get the Duo down, and then Ruthless Negotiation here as well. And we did get the Crumb and Get It out of their hand there. So we we no longer have to worry about that. But I was correct in putting them on Crumb and Get It. Alright, Banishing Light. Interestingly, getting rid of the Orator and not the Daggerfang duo. Swamp is about the worst draw we could have had. Binding Ruthless Negotiation doesn't get any cards out of their hand anymore. And it's a sorcery, so it's not like I can cast it in response to them cracking the Fountain Port Bell either. I mean, I could wait on it, but then I can't do anything this turn, so I may as well just 5-mana draw a card. I'll trade off here. It makes their Hunter's Talent worse. They do have 2 cards next turn, though, so that's not great. And there is a Fecund Green Shell, which means we probably lose the game. I can't complain too much. Our draft on, what's it called? Our sealed run on Monday had one in it. And we did run it and did win us a bunch of games. But it always feels bad to lose to stuff like that. Which is highly likely what is going to happen in this run. Or in this game particularly. Treetop Sentries, trigger, draw a card, forage, draw a card, and you can see where this is going. Strange they didn't want to attack there, but I keep drawing all of my swamps, which don't do anything. I mean, a forest would have been nice. You could see me tilt a little bit and say nice there. So I just kind of go all in and try to win off of card advantage here. I needed to find the Polywallop, because if I can't get rid of that Fecund Green Shell, I can't really do much. So I kept Double Forest and instantly regretted playing the Swamp. Although the Swamp let me look at 2 more cards and get 1 more, so I guess I didn't actually regret it. But next turn I have to try to Polywallop the Green Shell and hope that works. That's about all I've got. They are at 9 lands. Can they reach 10? Well, even if they can't, they've got the Wombo combo of Sticky Tongue Sentinel into Hunter's Talent. So their green pool is much better than ours. And now we have to take like 7 or 8. And Polywallop doesn't even do anything anymore. So we have to cast a 4-drop End Polywallop, which is Thornplate Intimidator plus Polywallop is our only chance to like not get overrun by a land off the top of their deck. But then I do the math, and they've got 5 power, technically 6 with the Hunter's Talent, and I've only got 4 toughness, which means this play, although there's no other play that I can make that would save me here, I don't think. I mean, I guess I could have played... No, if I played Cultivator and Polywallop, I wouldn't have been able to crack my food, so that wouldn't have worked. I couldn't have played either the 5-drops and also the removal spell. So this is the only option I had to try to kill a creature, and my only hope here is that they give the green shell +1/+0 and trample. But if they give it to any one of the other 2, I am dead on board here. And they did, so that does officially kill me. But I'll do my best. Actually, no, wait, sorry. I can trade actually now. I do have to chump the other one, but I can trade. And then they drop a Rotten Mouth Viper. Like what is this? Hunter's Talent, Rotten Mouth Viper, Fecund Green Shell. I assume they made day 2. That would be my guess. But we are well and truly out of this game. That was their top deck there. Must be nice. And there we go. That should just about do it. I don't have anything else I can really do. They just give the Rotten Mouth Viper trample, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I could play the duo, both duos here. I mean, the Glide Dive duo and the Cultivator, and have a 3-3 and a 3-4. But I don't think that will do much to save us. We just lost to rares.deck, which happens in sealed. Thank you very much. So if they give the trample to the Viper, then I can't win at that point. Yeah. And I keep saying I can't win, but like there's no hope in this game. And our 10th or whatever land won't help either. So we are done here after losing to rares in sealed. I haven't said it yet, but I really hate sealed. I do not enjoy playing sealed in the eras of the play boosters. It's not necessarily just because of the rares, it's just it is such a variance-based format. Like, we opened no removal spells. They land a creature, and we just can't kill it. I could have put 3 Polywallops in this deck, but I think my win percentage goes down if I do that. So, that also just feels pretty bad. And here we go. Innkeeper's Talent, turn 3. There's the GG. you can't beat Innkeeper's Talent. It's stupid good, and you really can't outrace it either. So we're gonna try, I guess, maybe, and hope they draw nothing but lands for the rest of the game. I don't know. But Hunter's Talent last game, Innkeeper's Talent this game. Those are the 2 best green commons or uncommons and rares in the set, and I guess Fecund Green Shell is as well, and we saw that one last game too. So plus the big 6/6 snake. Alright, there's a fight spell. What else you got? Another creature. Going wide. Putting counters. Missing land drops. Everything's great. Watching this back, I was super tilted from the way I lost in my first run as I was playing this run here. But watching it back, it doesn't matter how tilted I was. If I had the most level of heads, I'm currently 1-2, no matter what. I mean, we're missing land drops, and they've got a leveled up Innkeeper's Talent. Like, we're not winning. So they had Dewdrop in Trancer, or do whatever in Trancer, and Sticky Tongue Sentinel in their hand, which was crazy. So now they're just going to start, putting 2 or 3 counters on everything. So it's going great. And I'm trying to think what can get me out of this here, and I'm really not coming up with anything. Alright, and there's a first strike life-linking creature. Can't block that. Can't attack through it. Alright, create 3 more 1/1s. Give it there. I don't have good attacks on it. I mean, maybe I could like quintuple block, but then they just start putting counters other places. So this might have been like a what's it called? Premature concession there, but we were not winning that game. So I saved you time and myself time. So we are now 1-2, and gonna see if we can rally with this deck here and cast Cash Grab, which will let Bushy Bodyguard be able to forage on turn 4. And of course we mill the Season, so goodbye Season of Growth. A card that we have not been able to cast yet so far this draft. And one of the main reasons we're playing green here. Okay, creatures.deck. I could forage once, so I'm questioning exactly which one to play, if it's the Bodyguard for like a 4/3, but I go ahead and play the Sentries to try to draw a card here. And hope that I can set up enough of a defense to be able to survive their onslaught of creatures. And another green rare. I think all the green rares are busted. Season of Growth, or Season of Gathering, Tender Wild Guide, Vacant Green Shell, Innkeeper's Talent. They're all just absolutely insane. So the more green rares you can get, the better. I feel like my option is to race here or get beat down. And if I try to race, still get beat down. So it's like, I don't know what my option is when they go 1-2 or 2 and then a 2 and a 1 and then an offspring 4 that can grow. And it's just, again, I don't have removal. So this is a tough block here. Do I kill the Wild Guide or kill the creature that can pump all their creatures? Both of those are tough because the Wild Guide can grow big enough to like attack past everything I've got. Again, can't really block here. I mean, I can trade the Warren Elder, so just gotta hope they don't have another combat trick. So I'm actually relatively pleased with that exchange. They can't really do anything else this turn, so that seems fine to me. I'm at 6 mana. Their Wild Guide is going to start growing here now. I do at least have an attack, and then probably can just play the Bruiser here. Wild Guide gets bigger. Down goes my creature. That's a flyer. I can at least block it with sentries, so there is that. 7 mana now. So I can do duo mill 2, and then forage twice with the bodyguard here, so that's actually a pretty good way to stabilize. But now they give that thing flying, which attacks right past my treetop sentries. It expends, and now I have to go to 3, which means I'm currently dead on board to the 2 flyers if I don't draw anything here, which I do not. So that puts me dead on board, and that ends our run at 1 and 3. Watching this back, I feel relatively okay about how it went, because I don't think I lost because I made mistakes. I lost because my opponent's sealed pools were better than mine, which is a risk you have to take when playing sealed and trying to dump money into the arena open. So that's how it ended this time. And I'm going to attack. I'm going to hope they just make some sort of mistake. I mean, I'm dead on board, so if they're at all good, which if you play in the opens, you usually are, they'll see it and be fine. But if they forget to block here, I do win. So there's that. Maybe if their mom calls them because their sandwich is ready, and they have to immediately go and forget to block, I do win. Spoiler alert, based on the length of this video. I was getting a little excited at this point. I was like, why haven't they blocked? But based on the length of this video, you see that they do in fact block. They can also eat a food too, so I technically don't win. But sometimes people make mistakes, so I like to play it out till as much as I can. And the 2 flyers can attack past my reach creature, so all it takes is for me to see that they attack, and I will concede this game. So that ends our second open run at 1 and 3. Wah wah. Well, this one was quick, but I will be back on Friday for a 3rd attempt at Arena Open Day 1. A 3rd sealed is going to happen on Friday. Tune back in on Friday. If you want to see us go for that 2K, we're trying to make Day 2 pretty hard this time. Today didn't work out, but we'll try to get on Friday. I'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.